Hey all, Birds on the Bat here. So I thought I'd do something a little different today and do a little collection showcase. Um, this is something that JT Triple Crown 24 has touched on quite a bit in his videos. How do you pick what to collect in the hobby, right? What do you narrow in on? How do you pick a topic for your collection? And there's really no right or wrong answer. It's whatever makes you happy, right? Um, Collect whatever you love. For me, that's a couple different subsets. I love vintage cards. I love St. Louis Cardinals cards. They're my favorite baseball team and sports team, and I love Hall of Fame rookie cards. And this kind of delves into the discussion of what's a rookie, right? And that's something seemingly no one can agree on. It's not something that I'm trying to start a debate on with this video, but I can tell you that for me, personally, I prefer a player's first Topps card. I like Topps. It's pretty not it's pretty sad to say that, especially in the light of the news from yesterday that Topps lost its licensing. But in a way, this video is honoring Topps and is an homage to Topps because it's me showing off my Topps PSA 10 Hall of Fame rookie cards, or soon to be Hall of Fame players that I think fall well into the Hall of Fame category. So I've been primarily collecting baseball, and this is something that I've been working on for a little while now. It's an interesting little subset of my collection, and a lot of these cards, I've been picking them up as they appear online, focusing specifically on the ones with lower pop. So this is the 1989 Topps Traded Omar Vizquel rookie card. This is, as I said, they're all PSA 10 gem mints. This will run you about 50 or 60 bucks in a 10. He's not in the Hall of Fame yet, but if you look at his voting, the voting trend, he is due to make it in the next few years. He has 2,800 hits and 11 gold gloves as a shortstop, and I think that this is, it's a cheap, nice card of a really great player. Next, I've got the 1992 Topps Mike Mussina. This is a pop 115 in a 10. The numbers that I'm relaying to you are as of a couple days ago when I looked them all up, so forgive me if they're a little bit off, but they're roughly right. So the Vizquel is a pop 878 last I checked. Of course, there are many more printed, but that's just the number of them graded into 10. The Mussina, on the other hand, is a pop 115, and of course, I'm sure that there are many higher, but not very many have been graded at 10. And given the PSA price hikes, it's unlikely that you'll see a large number of these cards being submitted in the future. This card is worth about 40 bucks in a 10 and is one of two Hall of Fame rookies from the 92 set. Or rather, what I consider rookies. The first Topps card for me is the rookie, even if others don't think so. Next, I've got the 1993 Topps Pedro Martinez. This, of all the cards that I have, is one of the few that I actually don't really think deserves a 10. It's a pop 82, so you can't be super picky. You can see the centering on the bottom is pretty off. It is definitely bigger on the left than on the right, although the image kind of tilts as you go up and it becomes more even as we get to the top. But like I said, it's a pop 82. One of four rookies in the base 93 set. And I mean, look how off-centered that back is. I would like to upgrade this, but again, you can't be so picky when it's a pop 82. Next, I've got a pretty cool card here. The design is not that great, if you ask me, but it is the 1993 Topps Mike Piazza, Carlos Delgado rookie catchers. So this is Piazza's first appearance on a Topps card. He also has a 93 Topps Traded, which I would love to pick up. This card is a pop 343, and it's really cool because it also knocks off Carlos Delgado, who I don't think will make the Hall of Fame, but he hit over 470 home runs in his big league career, so certainly someone who's on the kind of outside looking in. Now I've got a really, really cool one. I've got the 1996 Topps Scott Rolen. This card in a Gem 10 is a pop 16, and it is one of the lowest pop cards in the entire run of Hall of Famers in recent years in a 10. Rolen for a long time has not really been thought of as a likely Hall of Famer, but if you look at his stats, he really does deserve it, if you ask me. And if you've seen the voting results year after year, I think last year he ended at 52%, so he is progressively working his way further and further into the Hall of Fame discussion. Next, I've got a pop 108, I believe, of the same set, 96 Topps. Actually, the next card in the set, card 434 and 435. the Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Andrew Jones rookie card. So this is a double just like the Piazza and Delgado. Like I said, this is about a pop 106. So if you're noticing a trend here, most of these are really low pop cards. And that's kind of why I focused on them rather than pick up, the Larry Walkers and Todd Heltons and Derek Jeters, just because those are a lot more, there were a lot more of those graded. Well, these, when they pop up in a 10, and it looks like a good copy because I've shied away from many 10s that I didn't feel looked like a 10. When they look like they deserve a 10, I go and scoop them up. And, this, like I said, it's a pop 106. It's a sweet card because it's got two guys, one in the Hall of Fame and one who's probably pretty likely to make it. And, look at that centering. Just gorgeous card. Next, I've got the lowest pop 1 of all of them in my stack, the 1998 Topps Adrian Beltray. This is a pop 14. Actually, I would have probably graded this card a 9. It is a little off left to right centering. Certainly falls within PSA 10 standards, but I personally probably would have graded it a 9 because the centering is a little off and it does have a little touch of white in that top corner. Nonetheless, it is a beautiful example. It got the 10. Like I said, it's a pop 14. I snagged it for about $80 in auction 3 or 4 months ago. And at this point, I can't imagine it would go anything less than $200 to $250. If you look at similar sales of similar players, like the 98 David Ortiz, which is Big Papi's first year in Topps as well, the price for this should really be much higher than what I paid for it. And Adrian Beltray, not in the Hall of Fame, but a shoo-in to get in the next few years when he becomes eligible on the ballot. So this one I actually just got into the mail today. And it is 10 cards later in the set than the Beltray. It is the Roy Halladay, Doc Halladay, rest in peace. This card is a pop 16. So just like the Beltray and the Rolen, super, super low pop we're talking here. And I picked this up for 105 at auction, I think. Or actually, I think it was 93 and then 105 after fees and shipping. But just a really, really rare low pop card of an already current Hall of Famer. It's his first Topps card. The hobby identifies his 97 cards as his rookies, but he had 97 Bowmans, and Bowman is a prospect set nowadays. Back in the past, although it wasn't explicitly a prospect set, if you look at the profile and the players that are in it, it really still did fulfill that use in kind of the hobby, right? Topps was putting a lot of the young guys in Bowman, not as many of the... It wasn't really a veteran-laden set. It was more about the youth, so it was still really prospect-focused. So I personally still look at the 90s Bowman set as prospect sets. I know that I'm definitely in the minority there. Nonetheless, first Topps card of Roy Halladay, Gem 10, Pop 16. Next, I've got my recent pickup, which I posted on Twitter and is the biggest pickup I have ever made. It is by far the biggest card in my collection. There it is, 2001 Topps traded Albert Pujols PSA Gem Mint 10. This card is absolutely stunning. I mean, it does have, a touch of white on that bottom right corner. But I do think it deserves a 10 because that is absolutely within the 10 standards. And it is the only flaw on this entire card. Absolutely no chipping in the gold foil anywhere on the card. Centering is on point. The rest of the card, just sharp, no edging, no corner issues. Just absolutely gorgeous. Of one of the all-time great players. And this is actually something that I've been thinking of making a video on recently. It's astounding to me how cheap this card is. And that's not to say it's by any means a cheap card. It is a pop 227, which is absurdly low for a player of Pujols category. A Pujols kind of, talent level and production. And it costs about $2,500 in a 10. Mike Trout's rookie currently goes for about $500 to $1,000 more than the Pujols, and Mike Trout's rookie is a pop 5,500. Yes, Mike Trout's rookie, there are 5,300 more 10s than there are Pujols rookie 10s, and I'm not even convinced that Trout's the better player, quite frankly, because if we look through the first 10 years, Pujols beats Trout. And the thing is, I know that I'm in the minority thinking that, but he was better than Trout for his first 10 years. Of course, now it's unlikely that Trout will have the decline that Pujols had in his last 10 years. Trout will probably be much better. But the degree to which Pujols was superior to Trout in his first 10 years, especially as a hitter, really just it's highly unlikely that Trout will catch Pujols in any statistical category outside of potentially runs. And because of that, we're talking about, nonetheless, whether you think one is slightly better than the other, two all-time greats here. And yet one costs about, 700 to 1,000 more than the other with 5,300 more copies of the 10. It just doesn't make sense. That's recency bias for you. All right, next, I've got the Yadier Molina Gem 10. This is a pop 213 in a 10. This is worth about $550 to $600 now. Gorgeous card, really tough set to get centered. There's actually a second Hall of Fame rookie in the set, and that is the 2004 Zach Greinke, and that is a pop 4. It is the second lowest pop of any of the likely Hall of Famers from the past 30 years of base Topps. So that is a card that I'd certainly like to pick up, but it's, with the pop 4, I'd probably have to grade it myself, and clean copies just don't pop up frequently. And then the last two. These two aren't really, due to make the Hall of Fame. They are young prospects, but I certainly think that they have Hall of Fame talent and are well on the way there. And they are the Ronald Acuna Jr. from 2018 Topps Update and the Fernando Tatis Jr. from 2019 Topps. These are, tens of thousands, 14,700 pop or so for the Tatis, 18,700 for the Acuna. Not rare cards at all. I'd really like to pick up the Soto to kind of create, fulfill the trifecta. But, for the pop that the Soto's at, I just can't justify paying $150 for that. I'd much rather pick up, a Larry Walker rookie and a Frank Thomas rookie. Because for that price, you could pick up about those two combined, if my memory serves me correctly of what they're going for. I might have undershot it a little, but nonetheless, I just can't justify paying that for a Soto when there's so many lower pop already Hall of Fame cards out there. So that is the group. Let me know what you think. I know that I shared some of my baseball opinions in this one that some the viewers might disagree with, but this is a pretty cool little thing that I've been going after, and I actually have a few more that are in this set coming into in the next few days in the mail. I thought that I would film this today, though, in light of the recent Topps news. So when I get those in, I'll probably do an update video and kind of show you what else I picked up and why. So, as always, thanks for tuning in, and have a good one.